Subriel Matias is not a cheater. Now, I made a video dropped a few days ago, regarding Subriel Matias' failed Ostarine drug test. Now, Ostarine is a performance-enhancing drug. Not the most effective performance enhancer, but certainly a performance enhancer nonetheless. But as some guys in the comments got onto me and educated me and let me know exactly what happened there. Shout out to Uga 488 and Raphael Kalo 8909. They set me straight. They told me the ins and outs of the tests. They told me about the B samples. They told me about the limits under the New York State Athletic Commission. And it's clear to me that Subriel Matias is not a cheater. These guys are saying that it's clearly a hit job by the Ring magazine to make him sound like a cheater because he failed one drug test, but he was under the threshold and his following tests came negative. So I don't think Subriel Matias intentionally cheated, right? There must be something going on. Maybe it's a tainted supplement or something if he's got such low levels of it in his system. But it's clear to me that he's not cheating, not intentionally anyway. If he's got a tainted supplement in his system, then obviously it's a problem. But that's for them sort of externally investigate. And if legal action needs to be taken against that company, then, so be it. That does happen. I know there's been companies who have had tainted supplements. Athletes have failed drug tests, and maybe the athlete has sued the company for loss of damages. If that failed drug test has costed them a lot of money, reputation, etc. There's a number of routes to go down. But Subriel Matias, and that's like what I said in my previous videos about Subriel Matias, he's one of my favourite fighters to watch, right? He is pretty unstoppable, to be fair. In a lot of ways, he's pretty unstoppable, but he can be outboxed. He has been beaten before. But he's a big puncher, bro. At 140, he's definitely one of the boogeymen. In my opinion, the two scariest guys at 140 is him and Gary Antoine Russell. Those are the two scariest guys at 140. Now, I think Gary Antoine Russell probably is one of the best guys at 140, but you've got guys like Teofimo, Richardson, Hitchens, who are potentially better boxers than Subriel Matias, but they definitely don't hit as hard. They definitely don't hit as hard. Again, nobody other than Gary Antoine Russell hits as hard as Subriel Matias, so I'm very happy to see that he's not a cheater. Because if Subriel Matias was a cheater, then, it would call a lot into disrepute. His reputation would really be damaged. As any fighter's reputation is often damaged after a failed drug test. But shout out to the guys in the comments. They set me right. They showed me evidence. They explained it to me. They showed that Subriel Matias is not a cheater. And hopefully that fight against Dalton Smith in January should still be going ahead. Because they've followed up on the testing. They've shown that, he had very, very little to no Ostarine in his system. So in my opinion, there's no reason why this fight can't still take place. But I'm super curious to know what you guys think of Subriel Matias' drug findings. That he's innocent and he's not got performance enhancers in his system. I'd be super curious to know what you guys think of that. What do you think of Subriel Matias in general? And what do you think is going to happen when he fights Dalton Smith? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest in the bag. And I'm out. Peace.